and welcome back to Upside Down Disney. If you're new here, my name is Jess, and today's video is going to be a little bit of a different video than what you might have come to expect from me if you have ever been around the channel before. If you are new here, hi, I usually don't make videos like this, but I would love if you would stick around for any and all my other content. I do all kinds of Disney unboxings and of pins and mystery boxes and hauls and things like that, vlogs and so much more. So if anything Disney or fandom and nerdy related interests you, definitely hit the subscribe button to stick around. So today I wanted to talk about Mickey Loot and just kind of like throw my voice out there, throw my hat into the ring, if you will, and just kind of share my experiences with Mickey Loot, my thoughts on Mickey Loot, because I feel like there is kind of more strength in more people speaking out and adding their voices to the story. And I also feel like if I didn't speak out, I would kind of be complacent in what is going on with everything. So for anybody who is not familiar with Mickey Loot, they are a mostly Disney subscription box company that started around the end of last year. I want to say it was so like end of 2020. I think they really started to like kind of hit the Disney like YouTuber scene pretty big. And so, you know, I believe it was in January or February of 2021, I went ahead and ordered my first box, which was a B-ticket Stitch box. So the way that their boxes worked was they were on the old Disneyland ticketing system. So like the A ticket through E ticket, with A ticket being the cheapest at I think like $40, and then E ticket being the most expensive at $300. So my first box that I ordered was a B ticket Stitch box. I believe that the first box I ended up receiving was my E ticket Little Mermaid box that my partner bought for me for Valentine's Day. And so the thing that kind of attracted me at first about Mickey Loot was that they kind of promised to be different than all of the other Disney subscription boxes. They were really going to curate these boxes special for your preferences, showing merchandise that you wouldn't get in any other Disney subscription box. You know, they were going to be a lot more focused on things like art and other kinds of things that you didn't really see too often. They sounded really interesting. I saw a lot of people here on YouTube unboxing their boxes, and they all were like so happy with them. They got really great stuff, really great value out of the stuff. Not that it's about stuff, but like if you're buying a box like that, like part of the appeal of these mystery boxes is the value that you're getting for your money. But like obviously we all know that like where that value comes from is getting the merchandise discounted from Character Warehouse or buying things wholesale or whatever. So don't think like I'm not like mad that they buy things at Character Warehouse and put them in the boxes. I fully expect that is where a lot of the merchandise that I get from these boxes comes from. But, you know, it's like that bit of Disney magic at home, and it's, you know, if I had gone to the parks and paid full price for these things, here's how much I would have spent. And, you know, here I spent this much and got, you know, so much of a value, and, you know, it's the whole experience of the box. And having somebody, you know, curate this box and pick out these items for you, a lot of times to your preferences, or if it's like a themed box to this specific theme that you ordered. And yeah, so, you know, it seemed promising. They were doing a lot of themed boxes, which I liked. Most other subscription boxes did not offer themed boxes, so that was the first things that I decided to order from them, were themed boxes. Rather than ordering, you know, a subscription box, a normal subscription box where you would give preferences and they would curate it for you, because I had Bibbidi for that, and I was really happy with my Bibbidi subscription boxes and the way that they were curating them for me. So I didn't feel the need to get a customized subscription box from Mickey Loot, but I wanted to try their themed boxes and see how I felt. So I ordered a Stitch one for myself. That was a B ticket, $75, and then my partner ordered me an A ticket Little Mermaid box, which was $300. Those were both in February when they released the vault, I think for Groundhog Day or something. So they both got there within like about a month, a little bit over. You know, they were talking about like around that time how they were planning for a move and they were doing all of these things, and so I was like, okay, like it's whatever. Like they're a small company, you know, if it's a couple weeks late, it's not a big deal, which they got to me within, I would say, like within a 2-month window, both of those boxes got to me. So I was happy with that, and I was pretty happy with the stuff that I got in them. My Stitch box got me a Stitch Miss Mindy vinyl figure. I got some cute Stitch socks that I loved. I got a Stitch hat that I haven't personally really worn except for videos, but my partner will definitely wear it, or I'll wear it when I go down to the parks. You know, like, it's not something that I would never get use out of. And I forget what else. I feel like there was something else that I got out of that, but it was all like, it was all nice things, all things that I would use. I wouldn't say it was anything that blew, you know, the other subscription boxes that I had gotten out of the water or anything, but it was a good contender with, you know, boxes like Bibbidi or Magic at Your Door that I had seen be unboxed. So that was, again, a $75 box, and I don't remember how much of a value I got out of that box, maybe like $5 or $10. But then I got my e-ticket Little Mermaid box. I think that one might have come first. And that box was a lot of things that I already had, which I was not mad about at all. It was totally fine. You know, I have a huge Little Mermaid collection, so the odds of getting something that I already had were pretty high. So I got, I think, a Jim Shore I already had, a t-shirt that I already had. I got a pair of ears that I already had, but the pair of ears that I had was kind of ripping anyway, so like it's good that now I have this backup pair. But like, again, like, I wasn't mad about that. There's no way that Mickey Loot would know that I had these things. For the themed boxes, they originally had kind of said that you couldn't really customize it, so I didn't think that I'd be able to list, like, I have the X, Y, and Z thing, don't put them in my box. So I didn't have my partner fill out any kind of preferences or any kind of, like, I have these items, I would not like to see them kind of thing. But I did get a very cute Loungefly bag from that box. That was, I think, a Box Lunch exclusive Little Mermaid Loungefly that was beautiful. It had embroidered elements, was really, really nice, and I loved it. I got a cup, like a tumbler, that I really love and use all the time, even though cups and tumblers are typically not on my, like, preferences sheet because I have so many of them, but this was, like, a different kind of tumbler that I don't really have a whole lot of, so it was, like, it was a good gift, and I use it a lot. I got a pin, an Artland pin of Ursula, which was super cool. Something that's really hard for me to get access to here in the States. They're pretty expensive to get them shipped. So, like, the box had a lot of really, really good items. Even the things that I had doubles of were amazing items. It was a beautiful Jim Shore that, like, obviously fits my preferences and I would have loved had I not already owned it, and things like that. So, like, it was all really good stuff. My problem with the A-ticket box, and I didn't share it at the time because I didn't want to seem ungrateful, but it was that I think I only got, the value of the box was like $305, and my partner spent $300 on this box. You would think for a $300 box that you would get like at least a $310 value, like at least $10 of value, but if, like, probably more. If you're spending that much money on a box, you'd think your value would be a little bit better. And, like, it wasn't my money that was spent, so, like, I was just upset that my partner spent this much money on this thing for me that we thought was going to be incredible, and then we only got like a $5 value out of it. And again, it's not really, like, it's not about the money or the, like, necessarily, but it's about, I saw other YouTubers unbox big ticket boxes like that from Mickey Loot and get like $40 or $50 values out of that box. I think Miss Cherry opened around Christmas. She opened like a $500 box from Mickey Loot or something and got like almost a $600 value out of it. And, like, you know, all of these channels that would consistently review Mickey Loot boxes every month would be getting these really high values out of these boxes of like $20 plus. People would get like extra magic or whatever added to their boxes and get, you know, even more of a value. And, like, you would think for a customer who spent $300 on a box that you would get something like that or some kind of, like, bigger value out of that box. So that was a little bit disappointing, especially when I had seen YouTubers who Mickey Loot was sending boxes to get these big values. That was kind of like my first, like, something seems off here kind of like tip off, but I didn't say anything, and I thought, you know, like, they don't know I have a channel, B, I'm not stupid to think that subscription box companies don't send better values to people who they are sending boxes to for review purposes or people who they know have channels. There was a spot where you could list if you had a YouTube channel, I think, on there, like, whenever you were filling things out, and I never included my channel name or my Instagram name at all. I have it on my Bibbidi wish list, or our preferences sheet, but I don't have it. I've never had it for Mickey Loot. So they had no idea I was a YouTuber or, you know, anything like that, would be posting the box and reviewing it or anything. So I felt like, you know, this is like the real experience that real people are getting from this box. And like, it's fine because you're still getting over your money, or at least your money's worth in the box and whatever. So, you know, I was like, it's fine, and it's only my first box with them, and technically that was my partner ordered it, and it was their first box with them, so, you know, maybe they don't give so much of a value right away if you don't consistently order with them, which is understandable, like, to give your extra value to, you know, your more repeat customers. So I kind of, like, brushed it all off and was like, okay, whatever. Like, I'm not stupid to think that that's not how these boxes work, where longtime customers get preferential treatment. People who are reviewing these boxes on social media, and they know that. I'm not dumb to think that they don't get better boxes and better value and whatever, and more, you know, preferential shipping and things like that. So it was just kind of like, whatever. I was still happy with the stuff, and I'd still give them another try, and I'd still order a themed box maybe in the future. So when around Mother's Day they released the vault again, I ordered 2 more boxes. By this point, things were starting to get a little bit delayed with Mickey Loot boxes. They had moved from North Carolina down to Florida, and boxes were a couple of months behind. And I was like, okay, whatever, like, it's a couple of months, you just moved, I totally understand that. So I went ahead and I ordered 2 boxes. I ordered a B-Ticket Taste of Epcot World Showcase box for my partner, and then I ordered a B-Ticket Haunted Mansion box for myself. So a month goes by, the boxes still don't get there. Another month goes by, boxes still don't get there. People who ordered boxes are now starting to ask them, hey, Mickey Loot, where's my box? And this is when things really start to kind of go sour for Mickey Loot. The first person who spoke publicly about it that I saw was Jake from Jake's Disney Afternoon, and because he had reached out asking where his boxes were because they were a couple of months late. And I was thinking the same thing, but I was like, you know what, I am assuming that they will come in a reasonable amount of time, and I'm just gonna give it time, because, you know, it's not like my livelihood was depending on that $150 or anything like that. Like, I can just kind of let it go and whatever. So I wasn't saying anything just yet, and I was kind of watching what was happening to all the people who were saying something. And Jake, I feel like, was the first one that really got backlash for it, where Mickey Loot threatened his job and said that he was being a bully. And that's a really bad accusation to throw against a teacher, that you are being a bully. That can cost somebody their job. And it's really like, it's maybe because Matt from Mickey Loot is not in education, he doesn't realize how serious of an accusation he threw around there, but that, you can't go saying things like that about people. Not when all he did was politely criticize your company for taking an extended amount of time to ship it. I think it was even more than 2 months that Jake was waiting for his items before he reached out to complain. And not even complain, but just to ask where his boxes were. And people had been posting in the Facebook group asking things, and he had been going on all these Instagram lives and Facebook lives and replying to people's comments on the Facebook group and saying things that basically at the time, to Jake and also to me after reading those comments and talking with him, it really seemed like the company was, like, I don't know if they were short money, but it seemed like they were relying on people to keep ordering boxes to fulfill the previous boxes orders that they had had. And from there, I kind of decided, okay, like, I'm done with Mickey Loot. I'm just going to wait for my final 2 boxes to come. I'm not going to make videos about them, and I'm just going to let it die. But then it just kept getting worse and worse and worse, with him saying worse and worse things to people, lashing out on social media, calling people haters, saying it's a conspiracy, and like all of this stuff that it really wasn't. It was just people were not happy because they did not get their items that they paid for 4, 5, 6 months at a time. Like, nobody was saying that the items weren't good. Nobody was saying, like, they were just saying that, you know, why are you getting so behind? A lot of things that they were saying did not add up. And it just got, like, it was just getting ridiculous. So, like I said, I ordered 2 boxes that were very delayed along with all these boxes, and just seeing everybody cause a ruckus and seeing what was going on and all the fighting and everything, I kind of wanted to stay out of it at first. But then just seeing how bad it got, how much hate these people were getting, how, like, ostracized from the community they were starting to feel for it, you know, I wanted to put my voice out there and speak up and say something, but I had no boxes to show for anything to even talk about. So I wanted to wait until I had my last boxes from them shipped and in my hand before I said anything. I didn't want them delaying my boxes further because I spoke out against them, even though I don't have my socials attached to anything, but I didn't want them figuring something out and, like, it affecting my boxes or anything like that. I just wanted to get my stuff in a more timely manner and just be done with them. So I was just kind of keeping my mouth shut on, like, publicly on a forum like this on the channel. But I would comment on everybody's videos, supporting them whenever anybody spoke out. You know, me and Jake had multiple conversations. We had a bunch of conversations in a box swap group chat about it, just, like, talking about how ridiculous it was, the whole thing. And yeah, so but you know, in the meantime, I was just patiently waiting for my boxes so that I could just, you know, eventually say my final piece once I had decided I was going to do that and just be done, because I'm somebody who believes in standing up for what's right. I am somebody who believes in, you know, doing things that maybe aren't easy, because it's what's right. And what's right is adding my voice in with my friends, standing in solidarity with them, making sure that none of you guys go out and buy a Mickey loot box, you know, or that you at least know my stance, and I don't seem like I am supporting this company or telling people to buy from this company, because I do have a couple of videos up on my channel of me unboxing these boxes. And I just want to kind of make it clear that I no longer advocate for buying a Mickey loot box or support Mickey loot. You know, in those videos I said that I was so happy with my boxes, I'd be ordering more. So I just wanted to publicly say here that I am no longer supporting Mickey loot. I don't think that there is anything that they can do at this point that will make me start supporting them again, not after all of the things that Matt has said to various people in this community. I can't even, like, think of all the names of the people that he has just insulted terribly in their, you know, communications back and forth about boxes. So just seeing all of that and knowing that there was videos on my channel that could lead people to think that I was a supporter of Mickey loot and I still, you know, was buying from them and supporting them, and that I thought that other people should too. I just want to make that clear. And I really feel like anybody who has supported them in the past, whether, you know, very more vocally than I did with my 2 videos, or, you know, even if you've just made one Mickey loot video, I think that we all, you know, if you're in the camp that no longer feels like they can support them, I really feel like you should add your voice to, you know, the people who have already spoken out and saying that you do not support Mickey loot, and, you know, to just make sure that more people don't get stuck with boxes that are 6 months delayed. 7. I don't even know how delayed this box is. I ordered it in May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. This is 7 months delayed, this box. So, you know, I really think I've seen some people commenting on other people's videos saying that, you know, they don't support them anymore. They were wrong to have supported them for so long. They regret supporting them for so long. So, like, I am challenging all of you to make a video about it, to publicly state why you are not supporting them anymore, to share your story of what happened and what your final straw was. My final straw came as soon as he said that Jake was being a bully and shouldn't be a teacher because of it. That was my straw. It just took me this long to be able to say it, because now I finally have my last item from Mickey loot that I ordered. I got the World Showcase box that I ordered for my partner in August. And that box was a little bit disappointing because I expected food items, not the whole box, but I expected at least some of it to be food items, and there was not a single food item in that box. There was comments that they made on social media that alluded to them containing food items, and then they didn't. And then, you know, it just didn't happen. But my partner did like all of the items that were in the box, so again, it's not really a problem. Well, it wasn't at that point a problem of not liking the items in the box, or there not being good items in the box, or good values in the box. It was just, it took 5 months to get there at that point, or 4 or 5 months to get there. And the excuses were always the move, or we're a small family business, so it's not a lot of us, whatever, we're trying to keep it a small family business. Well, if you are that under, like, that shows that you are growing too quickly for the amount of employees, and you just need to hire employees. Like, there's no way around that. Like, there comes a point where a business has too much demand for keeping it just within the family, and it becomes unacceptable to be delaying product by that much for the sake of keeping it just within the family. And then it was their systems were being switched over, and it was, they didn't receive orders right away or whatever, or there was problems with printing labels and things like that. And then it was the Disney shipment problems, where Disney didn't have any merchandise in the parks to be buying, which there wasn't the best merch, but there was merch. There was things you could have gotten. You could have gone elsewhere to places like Target, Five Below, and things like that, and gotten merchandise there. You could have gone to small shops and tried to work out some kind of a wholesale deal with a small shop to be able to include items in boxes or something. Like, there was other options other than just getting items from the Disney parks that they just didn't go with, and decided to just make excuse after excuse after excuse. Ajana Claire from Being Ajana Claire made a whole 2-part video series that really went through all of the excuses that they made a lot more eloquently than I am. And just kind of how everything just really fell apart. And again, like I said, she said it a lot better than I am. So, just, we got that box. I expected food. There wasn't food. But my partner was still happy with the items. And we filmed a video for it, but then decided not to put it up again because it was just, like, it turned kind of bad-mouthy. And then it got, like, it was just, we realized that we were kind of wrong because they never promised that it would be food, but just that there was kind of a chance to be food. But they did ask you for food allergy preferences, and plenty of the pavilions do have packaged snacks that they could have sent in the box, so I expected at least a snack, but there wasn't any, so that was like the bit of disappointment there. And then I was just waiting it out for this Haunted Mansion box to come, and from there again things just kept getting worse with Mickey Loot. And boxes were even more delayed, and their responses were getting even nastier, and people were saying they've emailed and not gotten a response, and it was just getting to be a lot. And then that's when other channels started coming forward about their experiences, like Ajana Claire and a few others. And so, that was really like the nail in the coffin, where I was like, okay, once I get my final box, I have to make a video and talk about it and my experience. But I didn't want to talk about it and talk about how bad things are without having a product to show for it and to see kind of like, I waited 7 months and here's what I got kind of thing. Recently, we've been seeing things like them not including packing slips, or if they include packing slips, lying about the value of items on boxes. Like, people just straight up like Googling the item and finding it for like $20 cheaper than Mickey Loop stated on the packing slip. They've now stopped including packing slips and wrapping and all kinds of things like that to save time and money in the packaging process. But so just a little background on this box. It said it was packing or curating in August and September, and then was packaging all through October and November. And then I emailed them in the beginning of December because I was like, what is going on here? This box is so delayed. Where is it? So I emailed them very politely asking if there was any updates, because my box was still in packaging for about over a month. And then a couple days later, with no response back to my email, I get a shipment email from Mickey Loot. So this box began curating and packaging before they announced that they were getting rid of the all the individual wrapping and the cards and the packing slips. So I'm very curious to see how these items are packaged, because if there's no packing slip, if there's no cards, if there's no anything like that, I know that they didn't actually start packaging my box and curating my box when they said they did. Otherwise, it would have had these things in it, because it started the process before that. So we're gonna just see what's here, see what's in here, see what kind of value there is to see, kind of just to say, here's the current state of, if you order a $75 box from Mickey Loop, this is a B-Ticket Haunted Mansion box in a pretty small box. We're going to see what kind of value you're getting, what kind of items they're including in these boxes at this point. Not that anything in here could change my mind about supporting them, because I feel like no matter how great the stuff is, your quality as a human being is more important to me. I have stopped supporting musicians that I loved because I found out that they, you know, had done certain things or treated people in certain ways. And I don't shop at certain places. I don't go to Chick-fil-A because their CEO and corporate office is very conservative and very anti-LGBTQ, and as a member of the community, that's something important to me, and I don't want to support somebody who doesn't support me. So if you are somebody who is going to, from your business account, say these kinds of things and treat people the way that Matt has treated people, I cannot support your business. I just can't. So no matter how great this stuff may or may not be in here, I will never go back to supporting Mickey Loop. But again, I am not vouching for them, but if you watch this video and you've seen other videos and you say, I still want to buy a Mickey Loop box, that's on you, and that's fine. I may not be the channel for you if you decide to still support Mickey Loop from this point forward, but you know, that is on you and your prerogative if you want to continue to get boxes from them. But I just want to kind of show, for those of you that maybe all of this doesn't convince you, maybe seeing what's in the box one way or the other might convince you. So this is the box that I have waited 7 months to receive. I think Jean-Claire had described it pretty well as like almost like an abusive relationship, not to make light of abusive relationships, but like when somebody is promising you, you know, is treating you terribly and then buying you gifts to make up for it, or trying to just make you forget about their like crappy behavior with nice things. Like, I feel like Mickey Loop thought that, you know, they would always say, and whenever people would ask where their boxes were or whatever, you know, they would always say, well, you know, our quality is worth waiting for, and, you know, yes, our boxes take a while, but I think that the product and the service we provide makes up for it, or whatever. And so, like, they're literally hoping that we'll forget and forgive and forget for how late the boxes are, because the items in them are so amazing. But there's only so much playing around with people's money you can do. And not that it is about the stuff, but it is about, these are difficult times. People are spending their hard-earned money on these things, and then to have that money sitting there in limbo for 7 months with no product to show for it is kind of crappy. You can't do that. Like, people, like that $150 I spent, well, like I said, it wasn't, my livelihood wasn't dependent on it. I could have bought other gifts for family members that in that time. I could have used that towards Christmas presents this year, you know, or I could have used that on my trip to Disney World in September. But instead, that was $150 less that I had in my pocket to spend on that trip. So it's just things like that where, like, playing around with people's money is, like, it's not necessarily materialistic. It's just, there's, like, it's the principle of the thing. I have made a transaction. I am expecting a product from you. I'm expecting services within a reasonable time. That is part of our agreement, part of me paying you this money kind of thing. I don't know. If Matt from Mickey Loop ever sees this, he'll probably still argue that everybody is just being materialistic and it's all about the product and the stuff for you guys. And I'm not going to go smashing these items on camera to prove that it's not about the stuff. Because I think it's not going to change anything to destroy these things or not. I paid good money for them. I'm going to just keep them. But it's more about the way that you are treating people, and then you are expecting this stuff to make up for it. You are expecting it to be about the stuff, and for people to not care about how you are treating people because you give them good stuff. So for Mickey Loop, it's all about the stuff. Does that make sense? Or at least that is how it comes off to me. Okay, so opening up this box. Alright, so I see tissue paper. And a Mickey Loop sticker. I do see a handwritten note. The note is all bent. But But this is a postcard from Hong Kong Disneyland. It says, Jessica, enjoy your box. Mickey loot. And then it is a Mystic Point postcard. Mystic Manor is the name of Hong Kong Disneyland's Haunted Mansion. So that's a really cute postcard. I'm not gonna lie. I do really like this postcard. Okay, and then opening up the wrap. There is nothing. Nothing is wrapped. We have a packing pillow that is popped at this point. No packing slip. Thank you. There we go. Which technically this box should have, since it started curating and packaging before they said no more packing slips. And I see 3 items in here. And I'm not going to lie, I'm disappointed. So first item is pretty cute. I'm not going to lie, I'm okay with this item. It is a set of, it's like a little notepad, like a magnetic notepad that can go on your refrigerator. It says, home is where the haunt is. This is very cute, and I will probably take it to my office when I get a full-time counseling job again. And like stick it on like a filing cabinet or something, because it is super cute. And I do really like, I've seen these in the parks and like almost picked them up, but then I'm like, Jess, why are you gonna pay $10 for a thing of like a notepad that can stick a magnet somewhere? Like, why would you do that? So I never went ahead and bought it, because like, you can buy a pin for $9.99. But again, like, that's like part of the fun of a subscription box, is you get things like this that you like but wouldn't necessarily go out and purchase when you're on a trip to the parks, because you just kind of feel like it's frivolous spending. But so it's like paying less money to have these things frivolously purchased for you, if that makes sense. So $9.99, home is where the haunt is, notepad. Next up is a pair of ears. And I actually did really want these ears, so I'm happy with these. It is a pair of Haunted Mansion ears that I don't already have, so that is pretty good. So $30 is the typical park ear price right now. And so these are Haunted Mansion ears that came out, I believe, this Halloween. So one ear features the hitchhiking ghost. You have the gargoyle instead of a bow, and you have Constance and the caretaker, or like the butler on the other ear, and it says Haunted Mansion. I think these might also be black light or like glow in the dark, all this like yellow paint here. And then on the back of the ears they say 999 happy haunts. And then the Haunted Mansion, and then you have Madame Leota, you have the bride, Constance, and then oh yeah, here you have the groundskeeper. So on the front is a butler. And then you can see the gargoyle from the back of the ears too. So these were super cute, and I kind of wanted them on my trip, but just never bought them because I was like, I have so many ears, and there was another pair of ears I think I got instead, that I'd had my eye on as well. So didn't end up buying them, but were ears that I really wanted. So these are a nice thing to include in the box. And now we get to the last item, and this is where my disappointment comes in. Because my third item is a bow tie. I think I specified to curate this box for a female. I have to go back and double check on that. But a bow tie is such a specific thing to put in a box. Like, I don't put preferences on these themed boxes. I never did. But because I never expected to not get, I never expected to get like a tie or a bow tie in these boxes. Like and it's a $45 bow tie. That is most of the value of my box right there, comes from this bow tie that I am never gonna wear because I don't wear bow ties. And like, I have to double check right now, because I am pretty sure that I requested to have this box curated. Like, if it asked for gender preferences, like I am positive that I would have put to curate it for a woman and not with, more female oriented things than male oriented things. And not that like I hate like gender roles and things like that, but like I am a more feminine person. I wear dresses if I go to a fancy event. I don't wear like a suit and tie. So I would never ask for items like this or ask for more masculine like related items in my boxes. I know for like the age preferences, I usually say like kid at heart or something like that, where like, okay, like I could see how like getting toys or something that are more for like little kids might happen. But okay, yeah, so looking at my order status, it doesn't show it anymore, but they used to ask like curate this box for a male, female, other, and for my partner's box I put other because they obviously I use they them pronouns when referring to my partner, so they're a little bit non-binary, a little bit androgynous, so a mix of things works for them. I didn't want to say specifically masculine things because they're not totally masculine, but I don't want to say specifically things for a female because they're not exclusively into feminine stuff. But if I ordered the boxes on the same day, so if they were asking that question when I ordered the World Showcase box, they were probably asking that on the Haunted Mansion box as well. So I would have put to curate the box for a female for myself, and it doesn't show it anymore because I think that they've since changed that if they ask for those things. But I definitely would have put to curate the box for a female. So they put in this bow tie in my box when I asked to curate it for a female. It is 100% silk, so like I guess, but it's just not something I'm ever gonna get use out of. Like maybe I can give it to my partner and they can use it if they ever decide to go someplace in like a suit and wear a bow tie. But I don't know any men in my life who are big enough Haunted Mansion fans to give this to either. And this was $45 of the value of my box. Like, again, I love the ears. I would have purchased them for myself. I almost did, but then decided to spend my money on other things. Then another pair of Haunted Mansion ears because I do have a lot. And I knew I was getting this box, so I didn't want to buy a lot of Haunted Mansion ears. I actually think I did buy a pair of Haunted Mansion ears on my Disney trip, or like close to it, and it was the ones with the safety pins, and they were the Lounge Flyer, the Her Universe ones, and I think because I like those better than the other ones, I decided to go with those, but I still really like the other ears. And then this is something I wouldn't have bought for myself, but I love to get little things like this in subscription boxes because they are things that I wouldn't buy for myself at the parks, but is a nice little like treat to myself when I get a mystery box. But this I never would have purchased for myself. I never would have put on a preference sheet. I would have chosen for my box to be curated more towards a female's preferences if it was asked. So this just really doesn't hit the mark and seems just kind of like, even if there was no gender preferences, like if you see that the box is for somebody named Jessica, why would you throw something like a bow tie or something extremely gendered in the box? Like a bow tie. I don't know. I don't know. Not to be like, don't give me masculine things because I'm a woman and like gender roles and whatever. Like, I hope that you guys get what I'm saying. It's just a little bit like you're presuming by throwing something like this in a box. I would just keep it strictly gender neutral items. Very like socially acceptably gender neutral items in a box, as opposed to something like this, which is going to be for a very specific population of women to receive, or people even to receive. A lot of men don't wear bow ties. A lot of men prefer a tie to a bow tie. A bow tie is a very specific, very niche thing. Even nowadays, where they're a little bit more popular, it's still a very kind of niche thing. So the fact that you just threw in this $45 bow tie and it makes up the majority of the value of my box it pisses me off a little bit, I'm not gonna lie. So that right there, ending it on a low note with Mickey Loot. The World Showcase box, my partner was really happy with everything. There was some cute coasters from the Mexico Pavilion. There was a cute hat from Norway that they've worn. There was a pin from the Japan Pavilion of the Japanese flag, and they are very into all things Japanese, so that was cute. And then I feel like there was one more thing in there that they did like and they did use. like, everything in that box was stuff that they liked and they used. So, oh, there was a mug. So, you know, like, it wasn't exactly what we expected, and it took a long time to get there, but the stuff was good, so it was whatever. It wasn't changing my mind about ever supporting Mickey Loot again, but was an acceptable box. This is unacceptable. 3 items, and the majority of it is a bow tie that I'm never going to wear, is unacceptable. Even, I know I didn't put preferences, but I tried not to because I didn't think you were supposed to in the Mickey Loot themed boxes like that. So, you know, it's just... So let me add up on my watch all of these items. $44.99 plus $29.99 plus $9.99. That's an $84.97 is the total full price value of these items from my box. So about a $10 value over what I paid for the box. But again, being that one of the items is something that I would never have asked for and will never use, that's a little bit disappointing. And that just kind of seems to be the running theme lately of people getting things that are way off base of what they would want. Somebody got a themed box that didn't even have any items from the theme in it. There was, you know, times where people got boxes for, with just an art piece that they said cost $75, but it only cost $55, you know, just things like that, that are really disappointing and really just, it shows like it just doesn't show good business practices. And then when you add the way that they are treating people on top of it, it is just inexcusable, and I cannot continue to support Mickey Loot. And that is just going to be my 2 cents on everything. I think I'm going to end it here because it's already at 52 minutes. I'll probably edit a bunch of this out to try to make like the most cohesive and coherent and eloquent video I can. But yeah, that is it. That is Mickey Loot, my story, my thoughts at this point with the company, and kind of where I am. So let me know in the comments below, have you had any similar stories with Mickey Loot? If you, like, you know, what was your last straw of supporting Mickey Loot? And what other subscription box companies do you recommend? I really recommend Bibbidi still. They have always gotten boxes to me within a reasonable time. You know, before the end of the month, I've always gotten my Bibbidi box when I've ordered it, even though I order it every other month, typically. I've heard wonderful things about Magic at Your Door. I've heard wonderful things about Magical Pick Me Up, which is a Tokyo subscription box, or like an Asian Parks subscription box. Karen from Karen's USA Adventures has her Enchanted Mysteries boxes. Ashley, I think her name is Ashley from Hey Hey Let's Unbox. I think she has a subscription box with a lot of UK-based things. Some of it is Disney. I don't know. Those are kind of like the main ones that I see people really talking about right now. But those are all boxes that I have heard good things about, and would definitely recommend over getting a Mickey Loot box. So yeah, let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. If you like this video, be sure to give it a huge thumbs up, and remember to subscribe to the channel and ring that notification bell so that you can come and stuck in the Upside Down with me again soon. I'm not quite sure when this video is going to go up, when you'll see it, if it'll be before Christmas or after Christmas. But I hope that you all are having a magical and merry holiday, whatever you are celebrating in this, you know, time of the year. And as always, thank you all so much for watching. I love you all, and I hope that you're having a magical day, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye, everyone.